My name is Dr. Shaan from Vitality Chiropractic, and part of this interview series is talking with other people who work in healthcare so we can understand more about how they got started, their stories, and of course, the people that they help. So today's guest is Benny. Benny is a personal trainer and a former athlete for Singapore competing in the discus. He works at a Podium 60 using their tried and proven method to help people to lose weight, gain muscle, and of course, to improve their health. Benny, how are things going?
Well, doing good. Enjoy staying at home. Yeah.
How are you finding it trying or being able to keep in shape and to work with your clients while being at home?
Well, it's a bit of a challenge because I have been very comfortable and it's my practice to train people face to face in the gym. So the fact that during this circuit breaker, we gotta just stay at home and train from home, it has been a 180-degree change from the way I usually practice. So staying in shape, it's not as easy as it was because my clients and I are very accustomed to using weights, but now we have to adjust and shift to using what we have at home. Yeah.
So for people who've never seen a personal trainer before, how would you describe your job to them?
I would describe my job as a customized, individualized training program that is designed to help them get to where they want to get to, fitness-wise. So everything is customized in terms of your training, your nutrition, your lifestyle planning and management. It is all designed to help you get in shape in and out of the gym. Yeah. So basically that's what a personal trainer does for you. Take care of you as an individual to help you get to your fitness goals in all aspects of your life.
Okay. And how did you get into this role? Because I understand, of course, you were a professional athlete before. How did you come into where you are now?
Well, I mean, first of all, I need to clarify that national athlete doesn't mean professional athlete. We don't get paid. I represent Singapore in track and field in the discus throw. And I got started in 2014. That was before I became a national athlete. I got started simply because I wanted to make money. Yeah, I just wanted to make a living, and I thought that providing training, coaching is the best exchange that I can get for my time. So I was just starting out university at that point in time, and that's how I got started, purely because I just wanted to make ends meet. Yeah.
Okay. And tell us a bit more about, say, when you were competing, because I know, of course, I mean, not just now, everyone can't compete right now. Tell us more about how that all started. How did you get into, say, discus, and how did you then get selected for Singapore?
I've since from a young age, I've always been competitive, and sports is one of my outlets to be competitive. And I represented my school in several sports. I was actually, like a funny fact, I was actually a triple jumper. I used to do triple jump, and then I did basketball and I played volleyball for my school. And we went pretty far in those sports in the local scene. And after NS, I decided that, okay, I needed to do a sport. I enjoy doing a sport, but then I hated running. I really hate running. So therefore, I decided that I was lucky enough to be introduced to my coach. And then he introduced me to discus throwing. So at that point in time, I wanted to learn how to get strong. I wanted to learn how to get stronger. So learning from this mentor of mine is a huge privilege. So I picked it up from him and I started to enjoy the sport because it's so technical. It's more than just brainless lifting. There's a lot of technique to the discus throw. And when everything clicks and comes together, it's a magical feeling. I really enjoyed it. And well, when I enjoy something, I go all out. I go 100%. And soon enough, because I'm tall, and I have some fundamentals from my years of being an athlete, I managed to become a national athlete after training hard for a year. And well, it kept going. I went to the SEA Games, and it complements my job because I get to understand about body, I understand about how people think, how an athlete behaves, how he responds, and how difficult it can be. And well, it goes hand in hand, and I just kept going because I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay, and you mentioned about other sports. What kind of other sports were you doing before?
Because of my height, I was poached to join the basketball team in my secondary school, and I was in the volleyball team in my secondary school. So I played for my school in secondary school, and we come out we have always achieved pretty good results. We always achieve top 4, like across the country. And yeah, I enjoy playing these sports very often.
Okay. And so for these other sports then, or even say for discus now, can you tell us what your training regime would be like? Because I'm sure not just for the average person, but even say for your clients, the way that you would train for a high-end sport is going to be much different than like the average person, like say myself or anybody else. So what would it be like when you're saying full-on training?
Discus throwing is a sport. It's very specific. It requires very technical skill sets. It's different from what regular people do. Regular people, they just look in the mirror, they want to look good, or they want to feel stronger. They want to have control over their bodies. It's different from throwing a disc as far as you can. So the approach to these two things are different. So when it comes to training for discus, there has to be a strength part and there has to be a technical part. So there are 2 parts to this approach. When it comes to regular people, most of the time, it depends on their goals, but for the most part, people just want to look good in the mirror. Their primary objective is to just do exercise, get stronger, and have nutrition. Discus, get stronger, get technically better, and also nutrition. So that one thing is just learning how to be technically sound and throwing the disc. That's the main difference.
Yeah. So for discus, is that something you want to continue to compete on in the future, or do you want to go in a bit of a different direction at the moment?
Oh well, I've already taken a different direction. I've already stopped competing at the end of last year. I decided to focus on my career as a personal trainer, and just focus on delivering great results and sharing information about training effectively and training well to people outside.
Okay, so I understand at the moment you're working on stuff, not just, of course, person to person like you usually do, but also for more of an online platform. Can you tell people a bit more about that and what that will be made up of?
Well, this is a period where we have to adapt. We're going to be obsolete, right? Gyms are all closed. Personal trainers like me who make our income from meeting people one-to-one, face-to-face in a physical space, we can't do that anymore. Same for you, right? You can't meet your clients anymore. You can't meet your patients. So we've got to adjust and adapt to that situation. So I've decided to take my training online. And training, if you think about it, is just movement. And we go to the gym, we lift weights, we do bench presses, we do squats, we do heavy rows. These are all movements that we can create with our own body as well. So gym is one of the easier ways. Lifting weights in the gym is one of the easier ways to get started because there are many ways to regress and progress and to find your suitable level. But dealing with our body weight is a different set of challenge. It's not so easy to just handle our body weight. But the fundamental movements are the same, and I understand movements. I understand how to make use of things, how to use our bodies, how to use the table or the chair at home to create similar effects. Therefore, I decided that, okay, people could use this because there are people who are very accustomed to lifting weights and they are stuck when it comes to home-based training. So I know a thing or two about calisthenics. So I think home-based training is something that people can start to use. And they may also improve from being comfortable with their own body weight because there are a lot of connecting muscles that are required when it comes to motivating with our body weight and just getting more mobile and being more attuned with our bodies is something that we can do to improve ourselves as well. So there is a lot of strength element to it as well. Yeah. So that's how I conduct my home-based training is every morning. So I conduct my training for different tiers of people. Different levels of people will have access to different levels of training. And it's over Zoom like this. Just like that. Over Zoom, they can sign up for my class, learn how to train and work on their fundamentals and get stronger. And come out stronger out of the circuit breaker.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that should really be the goal for everybody. It's not the best point to be in, but this is an opportunity. This is definitely a chance that people maybe can't socialize, but where could they use that time instead? I think learning bodyweight exercise would be very useful for a lot of people. In our house, to be honest, we kind of cheat. We have like a TRX, we have resistance bands, we have a chin-up bar. I bought a kettlebell as soon as the circuit breaker was announced. So we're not maybe using some of the easiest ways. How would you compare then this system compared to, say, the Podium 60 fitness system that you were using before or that you use with clients in the gym?
the Podium 60 training system is a holistic training structure. So people come to me at Podium 60 for a full body transformation program. So they are very focused on getting shredded, getting their rib six pack, and that has to do with, like what I said in the beginning, what a personal trainer does. It has to be one-to-one, it has to be complete, it has to be holistic. Your nutrition, your lifestyle, and your training has to be taken into the account. Basically, you're taken care of 24/7, right? With my structure and my coaching. With this structure, it's a group class, so it's more of a come to my class. There is a structure to it. It changes every 3 to 4 weeks. Get stronger in this same fundamental movements, but there is no personalized services to you in this structure. And it's body weight based, so some may be easy, some may not be. So you just gotta try to make things harder for yourself for some exercises. But I still do one-to-one training. There are people who do one-to-one training. That's where we can get a little bit more customized. And it also depends on what they have. If they are willing and they want to improve and they have the equipment, then a lot of things can be structured. So at the end of the day, it's just how personalized you want it to be. It can be as effective as when you are in the gym. Yeah.
So in terms of the people then that you would be wanting to, of course, help with this more, say comparing, say the personalized system, say like with Podium 60, where it's in person, or comparing that to online, would they be for different types of people? Or would it be potentially the same people that just want something more personal or want something more at home?
I think it's for the same type of people. This home-based training is more of a responsive and it's more of a way to adapt and adjust to the situation. But there's a lot of improvements can be made as well. So at the end of the day, like you said, it's about how personalized you want things to be. The structure is the same, the fundamentals are the same. We work on our fundamentals, we move well, we work on our whole body, and we just get stronger overall. It's just that the exercises will have to vary based on what's available.
I'd imagine not many people have a squat rack or anything at home, although it would be nice.
Not many. Some people do have, though. They want it bad enough that they are willing to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that said, I think there are a lot of calisthenics athletes who are really strong for their own weight, and they just find ways to make things more difficult for themselves. They can, instead of just doing thousands and wrapping out thousands of bodyweight squats, which has not very good effects on the people after a while, because the returns of your effort is very low. It gets lower and lower as you get into the reps. So they make things difficult for themselves by maybe carrying a heavy backpack. They do things like single leg squats. They do plyometrics. So these are all things that I do to make things more challenging for people. And it's not easy. It's tough. Even tougher because it has so much more elements to it. But that said, some bread and butter movements in getting stronger, bigger legs, which is what a lot of guys want. A lot of guys have skinny chicken legs and they want to get their legs bigger and stronger. And honestly, just lifting weights, making things easy for yourself, easy meaning it can be executed easily and comfortably, is one of the easier ways to get big, strong legs. So that's some of the things that you are missing out on right now at the moment, unfortunately. But there are a lot of other elements to growing muscle and growing strength as well. It's just we got to make do with what we have.
It's interesting you mentioned about legs. I saw this interview with this guy, and he used to be a professional wrestler and a professional MMA fighter, and he has massive legs. And they asked him about, what is his max squat, and he's like, I don't know. He had no idea, because what he'd been doing is doing like Hindu squats, but he'd do like 1,000 every day when he was in university, just doing crazy stuff. But yeah, for the average person, this is where would you find the time? When is it possible? You mentioned before about some of the things to help grow muscle. What do you think are some of the most important aspects of hypertrophy or growing muscles to be bigger?
Okay, well, I'd just like to talk about that guy. Well, there are some guys who are just genetic monsters. Absolutely. Some guys are just born with that set of gifts. So we just got to work with what we have. For the most part, I think most people won't respond to that kind of training. First of all, because, well, like I said, who has the time? And second of all, it just doesn't really work. Thousands of reps a day sounds like an anime character. It's just something dramatic, but scientifically it doesn't work. Thousands of reps, that's what? I don't know. Spend a whole damn day and maybe come walk the next day. Well, some people can do it, but majority of people won't do it, and they can't do it, and they won't get that kind of result. Some people are just born a little bit more blessed in that department.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and next thing about hypertrophy and growing muscles. First of all, I think after meeting and training with so many people, I realized that the first thing they need to get right is getting good form. They need to learn how to load their bodies. Most people look at videos. Me guilty as well. When I was younger, I didn't know what I was doing. I look at videos and I just try to copy them. It looks pretty much correct, and then I just assume that it's correct. But I didn't know a lot of things. So as I was becoming an athlete, as I started to break through out of my plateaus, because I make adjustments to my form, that's where I realized that where we load the weights on is the most important thing. It's like how people can squat so much and their quads are so big but their abs are so flat, because they don't know how to work on their glutes. They don't know how to work on their hamstrings, and that's super common. Even when people jump, they put a lot of pressure on their knees because of poor landing, and they end up having knee injuries instead of having stronger legs. So first things first, you need to learn how to have good form. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know how to load your body. Step one. Step two, you got to find exercise that's appropriate for you. So a lot of times, just earlier today, I trained a client. She fully understands what's going on. She tried to get into good form, but she just can't because she's too weak. She can't do the exercise. The exercise is too hard for her. I was getting her to do jump squats, right? She can't manage the explosive impact at the moment. So that's not for her right now. So you got to find out where you are at, and but for that to happen, maybe engaging and seeking help from a professional will be useful in the beginning. And then as you start to understand more and more, then you can start to be a little bit more independent. Of course, always practice independence, but it's always good to have someone guide you. Okay, assuming you have these two things, you have good form and you know where you stand. Third thing is you just need to have more practice. You just need to spend more time with it. I would recommend people to train about twice a week, each body part. So if you train your legs, maybe train them twice a week. You want to work on your chest, do them twice a week. I think that would be a good way to get started. Yeah, if you are seasonal, then if you plateau, change your programs. If you plateau, and then I'll find different ways to stimulate different movements, because doing the same thing over and over again, you may plateau. You may max out what you're doing. And a lot of people are very comfortable with doing the same thing because it's so familiar. So do not be afraid to try out new stuff. You may work on the limiting things that you have right now that will just help you break out your plateau. Yep.
And I know there's a lot of, if you look online for anything, whether it's to do with men's health or all these other websites, there's always all these things about myths in the gym and best ways to lose weight and everything else. And especially losing weight, I'd imagine for a lot of clients is going to be the thing that they want. Not everyone wants to be the next Ronnie Coleman. A lot of people just want to, look more trim for their boyfriend or their girlfriend. What do you think are some of the most important changes that happen in terms of training when someone's in the difference between, say, building muscle and losing weight, or are there any changes at all?
The fundamentals are the same, but how I would distinguish these two peoples: first type of people whose priority is to lose fat, the second group of people, their priority is to grow muscles, is the way they prioritize training and nutrition. When it comes to growing muscles, your training is a lot more important. If you want to grow muscles, you got to make sure that your body is sufficiently stimulated. You need to make sure that you hit the right parts. There is a science behind it. There's no random bro science to it. You have a structure, you have a program that's designed to achieve your goal. So do a hypertrophy program make sure you feel those muscles, make sure you feel yourself improving, and then nutrition is equally important as well. That's how you grow muscles. That's for group number one. The second group of people who just want to lose fat, honestly, they don't even need to do any training. I mean, of course, it will help. It will help with your hormonal system. It will help boost testosterone, all that kind of stuff. But that's secondary compared to nutrition. Nutrition is number one. When it comes to losing weight, you're just going to watch what you eat, go to the kitchen, look at all the stuff that you enjoy eating, but you know it won't be helpful for you. Throw them out or pass them to someone, donate it to someone. Create an environment that will help you succeed. When you're in a home full of clean, fresh food, there's a very high likelihood that you'll succeed compared to a person with chips and beers and all the junk in their house. So create that kind of environment. So that's how I would distinguish them. If you want to grow muscles more, have a good training structure, and of course have a nutrition plan that supplements it. Second group of people who want to lose weight as their primary goal, just watch what you're eating, put in some exercises, move a little bit, but nutrition it will be your priority. Yeah.
So out of curiosity, I have two different topics. What would be your view on, say, cardio and fasted cardio?
I mean, cardio and fasted cardio, I mean, based on assuming that you're going to have the same amount of calories a day. Let's say 2,000 calories a day. Personally, based on science, it doesn't really matter. I find that the more important thing is you do that cardio. But assuming that you are already doing that cardio and you are trying to find out what is a better thing to do, I mean, based on science, the reason why people do fasted cardio is because after not eating the entire day, glycogen is depleted from your body. And because it's depleted from your body got to find energy sources from somewhere else. And that means that, okay, you got to go look for your fat. But based on science and research, it shows that glycogen doesn't get fully depleted over just one night. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because you'll still be tapping on your glycogen anyway. So I wouldn't, personally, doesn't make a difference to me. A lot of people advocate fasted cardio. If you find that it works for you, if you find that you have the strength for the cardio in the morning, personally, I don't. If I go fasted if I train fasted, I'm not going to have a good quality training session. That's for my body. I know how it works. So I know that I'll get so much more if I have a good quality session. That's why I eat. I eat about 2 hours before I train. Depends on the kind of training that I do. For me, I'm a strength athlete. I focus more on heavy, high-intensity work. Carbs are important for me. Yeah. So find out what works for you, but scientifically, I don't think it really makes much of a difference. If you can get a good workout fasted, good for you. If it works for you, good for you. If it doesn't work for you, don't stick to it. Find what works for you. Okay, don't stick to one principle of working. Yeah, that'll be my response to it.
And so for your clients that you're working with, and I understand, of course, you help them with nutritional advice. Is there any particular type of diet that you advocate more, whether it's, some people do keto, some people do low carb, some people do cycling. Is there anything that you particularly do, or is it more about balance?
Well, I think I always recommend what they can follow. That's the most important thing. Do what you can do. Think about it. Hey, it's lagging. Dr. Shaan is lagging. Or is it me?
I can hear you. It's okay. Okay, now you're lagging. the wonders of the internet, everyone. Okay, there we go. I see it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay, good. Also, anyway, so back to your question about what I would recommend on nutrition. So honestly, nutrition is a very fluid thing. 20, 30 years ago, people were advocating against high fat, and then now people are going keto. It's such a drastic change. But what's their objective? People want to do this at the end of the day is because they just want to lose weight. They want to get into shape. And they're just trying to find ways to help them do that. So at the end of the day, they are more similar than different. People just want to lose weight. They're just trying to find a way that works for them. So 20 years ago, they think, going on low fat works for me, works for people because if I don't eat fat, I won't get fat. Now it's, carbs is the devil, sugar is the devil, and it's everything you need to avoid if you want to get into shape. So what my approach is, science is always revolving. You've got to find what works for you. So if I give you a plan that you can't follow, it's not going to work anyway. So ketogenic diet, personally in Singapore, is extremely difficult. You look around you, there's rice, there's noodles, there's pasta, there's bubble tea everywhere. At some point in time, no matter how strong-willed you are, you're going to give in a little bit. But if let's say you're strong-willed, then good for you. Personally, from a science perspective, assuming that you can follow all these instructions, assuming that you are a very strong, highly motivated person, if you are extremely overweight, I would recommend that you cut off some, you go keto for a while. You go keto for a while. The reason is because they want to work on their insulin sensitivity. People who are obese, there's a high chance that they'll get diabetes simply because their blood isn't working anymore. So for them to be healthier, maybe cut off sugar first. There are three things that I'll recommend people to start off with. Minimize sugar, minimize fried food, and minimize shelf food. Food that can be kept for like more than 6 months in a year. And also margarine. These are artificially derived food. So I would recommend people avoid these things for a start. I mean, it's just something that is simple to understand, but so hard to do because they taste so good. It's so hard to do. But basically, that's my philosophy. Find what works for you. If it works for you and you can stick to it, continue with it. If you're extremely overweight, well, start off with keto. And for people who just want to live slightly better, I would say, okay, maybe you can start off by cutting out those 4 things: fried food, sugar, shelf food, and margarine. Depends on where you're at. Yeah.
So you mentioned, of course, about there's 2 different types of people there. Some people being very obese, some people trying to make some improvements. Who would you say is the typical person that you work with, or what's your typical client like?
My typical clients are middle-aged people in their 30s, 40s, and who just want, because I think people understand the concept of sarcopenia, the fact that there will be muscular atrophy from the age of 30. As you get older and older, from 30 years of age, you start to degenerate in terms of your muscular abilities, assuming that you are living the same lifestyle. And people understand that, and they find themselves getting pains and aches on their knees and their backs, and they see their body deteriorating, and they want to do something about it. These are generally my clientele. And yeah, they come to me because they want to grow muscles. They want to get into shape. Yeah, that's pretty much my clientele. Personally, I feel like people in their 30s to 40s, I feel like they are more like, they are behaving like people in their 20s to 30s for some reason. And they have the ability to achieve that kind of crazy result. I have several testimonials of that. Yeah, so I don't really work much with obese people because, first of all, I mean, they don't come to me. But there are some, but majority of my clientele are 30s, 40s, of all shapes and sizes. Yeah.
So you mentioned about some of the crazy results. Can you tell us about some of the results that you've had with some of your clients in the past?
Well, I mean, I can share them if you want to see.
Well, yes, and you don't have to necessarily share. I mean, you can share pictures if you want to, as long as it's okay with the person, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fine, I think. Okay, let me share some stuff. Hang on. Okay. Alamak. Okay, maybe I just show one because I don't have them all in one folder. These are all individual.
That's okay. Now I understand you've got a lot of different clients where they've got a lot of results. I mean, I've seen some of the pictures myself. I know that it seems like a big, big transformation.
Yeah, so maybe I can just share about this guy. I don't know. Is it share?
Yep. Yeah, I can see it. Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, so this guy is our friend. He's Stefan. So he is a fully developed adult in his middle age, and he got results like this in 12 weeks.
Wow.
12 weeks. Yeah, this is one example. There's more.
So basically, for anyone who's at home now, we have 8 weeks of CB. So all you have to do is just extend it for an extra 4 weeks afterwards. Can be done.
Yeah. They have results like this. Can you see it? Like the new.
Still Stefan at the moment.
Still Stefan at the moment. Hang on. Yeah. So results like this.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So just some examples. And they can get results like this because, first of all, they are highly motivated individuals. So my job basically is to guide them the most efficient way to get into shape. Through training, through effective training, through customized nutrition plan that they can follow, and a health and lifestyle regime. Yeah, so those are some of the results that people can get, and they are in their 30s and 40s. It's amazing, yeah. It's amazing what your body can do if you know and you want to do it. Yeah.
So just to clarify for people watching then, because I'm sure some people see this and they think that they have, maybe they think maybe they're doing something crazy, like they're doing Olympic lifts or they're doing keto. Are these people doing any of those extremes, or are they doing more on your plan like you mentioned before?
What do you mean by?
So some people at home, they see bodies, because these guys are in great shape, and they think, oh, maybe they're doing some crazy diet, or they're doing, again, like say clean and jerks and stuff like that. Were they doing anything like that, or is this literally just by exercising and having balance?
First of all, if you want to look, they got to push their bodies. They got to push their bodies as hard as those people who are doing clean and jerks, bodybuilding, or whatever sports. The rigor is there. To get this kind of body, you got to have rigor. It has to be rigorous. You can't get crazy body by just doing push-ups all day. It's not going to be enough. Okay, so that's something that I need to clarify. Training is tough. It's not easy. That's why you can get a body that people respect, because most people can't do it. Most people are not willing to do it. So, like I said, you got to be personally motivated on yourself. You got to be willing to take the pain, but it's good pain. It's like muscular pain, not joints pain, knee pain, or whatever. Yeah, so training is rigorous. It's super tough. And sometimes when I look at them train, I get motivated myself. It's like, wow, these people are training as hard as me, and it's motivating, right? Nutrition has to be on point. To get that kind of great results, it has to be on point. I look at myself in the mirror, and I'm not even in their condition at the moment because my nutrition plan is it's not like them. It's not as strict as them. So a guideline would be about 95% of the time it has to be clean. So if you think about it, if you spread the meals out, you can only chill off 5% of the time. So that's what they got to do. And that's why it's only 12 weeks. People can't do this for the rest of their lives. Some people can, and these are monsters, but majority of the people can't do it. Yeah, that's why it's for 12 weeks. They go for extreme regime, but it's something that they can do. It has to be something that they can do first. And then we just step it up, get better and better. Personally, I believe the 1 hour that you spend, whether in the gym or at home or anywhere, you can choose. It's your personal choice to make it as productive as you can, or to just make it a breeze in the park. So 1 hour training with me, you're here already anyway. Train hard, leave everything on the floor, and then get up. Yeah. Compared to somebody, I'm just here to lift some dumbbells, do some curls, and tell myself that I did something and feel happy for myself, and I'm out. So two very different approaches. So if you want to get results like this, it has to be the first. I really want to improve, and I'm going to max out today. Yeah. So it's not easy. Super tough. Yeah.
So when working with your clients, what would you say are some of the biggest challenges that you've had to experience?
It depends on the client. Some clients deserve to be paid for me to train them because they are so easy to work with. They just make life so easy, you know. You already have the blueprint. They just follow it, get results. Basically, just stick to the plan, right? But that's one part of a successful transformation. You got to be willing to follow, and you got to be hardworking. You got to be hungry. The second part is they got to be mobile. So if they have mobility problems, no matter how hard you want to work, there will be restrictions for you to do it safely. And that's where we need chiropractic. That's where we need physiotherapy. That's where we need a lot of corrective work. Make sure that their body can work together as one. So these are primarily the two factors that will determine whether or not you will succeed. First things first. People got to have a reason, a strong goal to get started. Some people just want to do it. Some people are doing it not for the wrong reasons. And then they find that what they say doesn't match their effort. So for that to happen, so some of the challenge I face with some of these clients is they don't know what they're talking about. They say they want something, but they don't really want it. And then they not get results like this. And second of all, people with mobility problems. So mobility is like so important. And because most people are sedentary, they just go to bed, go to work, sit, stand, walk around, sit, stand, open the door, get a cup, pour your cup into your mouth. And then there's a lot of muscles that are not developed. So people with mobility problems, work on it. And people whose action doesn't match what they say. So primarily these are the two things. As long as you know what you want, you know what you want to do, you do it, and your mobility is fine. And when there are people like this, 100% they will get results, sick results.
And so I understand you have a busy client list of people who are, I'd imagine, a mix of, some motivated, some not as motivated. What would you say are some of the most important aspects of your success and being so busy?
I think first of all is because I am equally invested in my clients' results. I match my clients' energy, and when my clients want something, I'm going to go 100% with them. I'm going to run with them, and I'm always on the point. I'm always on the ball because they are my work. They are my babies. So I have to make sure they get the results. So first of all, it's 100% commitment to my clients. I think there are a lot of trainers who are extremely knowledgeable, and they know a lot as well. And that's first thing first. They know a lot, but they must put inside their clients' thing. Their clients got to be able to follow and stick to them as well. That's first. I am committed to my clients. Second of all, I just have an eye for detail. I can look at somebody and I can tell you exactly what you're doing. I can tell you how you're feeling based on movements. I just have an eye for that. And being an athlete helps with that because discus throwing is such a technical sport. After being able to throw a discus and knowing how to snatch, everything else is easy. Bench pressing, squatting, lunging, everything is so easy. And honestly, I'm not the most blessed athlete. I am blessed with height, but I am not the most explosive. I'm not the strongest guy. I have very long limbs. My body is far from my head. So connecting my muscles and feeling them is not the easiest thing. I struggled with them in the beginning. I remember I was trying to work on my biceps, and I was trying to work on my abs and my core, and I couldn't feel them when I was doing bicep curls. I couldn't feel my abs when I was doing plank, and there were no aches in the targeted muscle groups that I was working on. I was trying to train my chest, and I was feeling my triceps instead. I was like, what the hell is this? I thought I'm doing everything right. But slowly after the years, I started to develop a lot more understanding of what I need to do to get my body engaged. I went for a lot of courses, learned from like top trainers of the world, learn from them, experimented in my body, and I'm just able to pick things up, and I'm able to give people cues that they can get immediately and start developing on those muscles they want to work on. So that's part of my success as well. Commitment and having the ability to see what's going on and being able to communicate with them effectively with you. And having a system and a structure that takes care of you inside and outside of the gym. So these are the 4 things I would say. Yeah, these 4 things determine my success so far.
And what are some of the goals that you have for yourself and maybe for the overall profession as well, including some of your colleagues who are also training people?
I think I mean, I'm not very involved in the fitness world outside of Singapore, but I think Singapore, because of social media, the training standard in Singapore is increasing, and I'm quite happy about that. Honestly, when I was getting started, I was looking around at some personal trainers and I was like, wow, people like this can get great results, can get a lot of clients. It's unbelievable because it just doesn't look like they are very good. I mean, that's just me being a competitive person. But now a lot of people are getting better and better, and it's exciting. It's nice to see how people are upping their game, getting better. And I think that's one great direction in Singapore. And of course, ultimately, I think having a world full with fit, good-looking people is going to be a treat to the eye. And to be able to do that, they're going to know how to train. And I hope that more and more people will find out and know how to do them properly. And well, I guess that's one of the things I want to see in the future.
And what about, say, for yourself? What are your personal goals that you want to achieve at the moment?
Well, personally, I think I would like, well, as a person, I would like to have more clarity in what I want to do. I mean, I like fitness a lot. Fitness has been part of my life, and I'm just thinking about where I want to progress and how I can play it bigger. So right now I'm doing a lot of personal training, one-to-one. There's only so much people that I can reach out to, and I am more of a technician than a business owner. So a business owner, we need to learn how to market, we need to learn how to get people, we need to get more engagement, and I think that's something that I want to learn how to be better as well. I want to learn how to spread the word, need to let more people know about what works, what doesn't, throw out all the myths or the things that doesn't work for them. Basically, I just want to find a way to educate people more. And I think social media is the way ahead. I'm thinking about doing videos as well. But I'm trying to get comfortable with the camera. Yeah, that's one thing. And so clarity, know how to reach out to more people and help people get into shape and help myself become more financially free. Yeah, pretty much.
Would you want that to be like, say, an online platform, like, say, similar to you're doing now, but instead of you being there, being more of like a platform people can go to? Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, I think that's in the pipeline. I am speaking to somebody about it, and I think there's a way ahead. So I intend to set up my own app, create my own app. Hopefully, I create something that people find useful. Still experimenting with that. If it works out and if it helps a lot more people and reach out to more people, then that'll be very exciting for me.
Cool. So, say, in an ideal world, what kind of changes would you want to see in healthcare systems? So, not just here in Singapore, but say even in other countries as well.
Well, honestly, I don't know much about healthcare systems, so I don't have a lot of comment on that. But across the world, I think I've been following up on the COVID-19 situation, and honestly, it's a very sensitive subject. But I think situations like this reminds us how preparation is very important, and how making sure that we have insurance against situations like this is important. I think I see a lot of countries very underprepared. There's a lot of complacency involved, and healthcare workers they are the ones who are struggling the most. They are the ones who are getting it from the lack of administration and from the lack of preparation. And I think one of the things that I wish to see more of is to see more preparation and more attention given to it. So recently I watched Bill Gates. He's like a strong advocate of fighting against pandemics like this, and for like a few years ago he was already warning the world about it. But because we are so comfortable, I mean, I'm comfortable as well, honestly. I mean, don't change what's not broke, right? But who knows how? I mean, when it happens, it gets really bad. So I think more preparation can be done to it. Healthcare workers should be paid more. They work so hard, they risk their life, they should be paid more. And yeah, I think those are good things to start with. Be more prepared. Do not take the invisible enemy lightly, and pay our healthcare workers a little bit more.
Yeah. In terms of, say, exercise and mobility, would you like to see that implemented more into healthcare too?
100%, man. I think, well, I've worked with a lot of clients, and they work with physios, and they work with healthcare professionals, and a lot of them are good. But I think because people like things simple, and simple things get into people's head, people don't go into the important stuff, because some of the important stuff can be quite complex and are not that easy to implement and follow. But those are the exact things that people need. So I think spending more effort and time on education, because a body is a body. We have a body, we have two arms, we have two legs. At the end of the day, the squat, the push-up, sit-ups, these are three staple movements that people think about all the time. I think we can try to expand that a little bit more. So people need to know that, oh, there's more to just these three exercises. Look at the One Punch Man program. Just push up, sit ups, and go and run 10K. You do this every single day. I don't know. I mean, it works for some people, but it doesn't work for most, because it's so anterior dominant. Your posterior chain is going to get wrecked. It doesn't work. But because it's so easy to follow, people just do them. Well, I mean, still better than not doing anything. But if you are serious about health, there's so much more to it. So I think people could know about that. And people take the words of healthcare professionals, doctors, physio very seriously. And maybe they can be the start of spreading all these important things. Yeah, and also one more thing is, over my years as being a trainer, I find that there are a lot of healthcare professionals and trainers included. They play things too safe. They like to hold back on pushing their clients. They like to hold back and set the standard of mediocrity, because they don't want to get their ass in trouble. And that causes people to not fully develop into who they can. So personally, I'm like, screw that. I'm an athlete. I know. And I'm an athlete, and I know that I'm not the most blessed person. But I know that I can achieve great things as well. And so can you. So can my clients. So I always push them. But I always reassure them that it can be done as well. So yeah, stop treating people like they're retards. Stop treating people like they're kids. Train them, push them hard, give them what they need, give them what they want. And well, they will be better, and you have less problems. Yeah.
Given the current lockdown, what are some tips or advice you would give for people who are now spending more time at home?
Tips on what?
Tips or advice to anyone, whether it's stuff they're doing at home, whether it's things they should be doing nutritionally, physically, mentally, anything that you think would be valuable for people at the moment.
Well, I mean, I will just stick to what I do, which is fitness and being. So at the end of the day, I think the primary and the most fundamental things that we want to have is to have control over our bodies. You want to walk around, you want to sit down, lying down, squat, jump, move, pull stuff with absolutely no problem. Basically, we need to be in touch with our bodies all the time. So for that to happen, and honestly, after working with so many people in their middle age, 30 to 40s, that is a luxury. So many complain about neck pain, back pain, knee pain, so many pains, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I think one of the best ways and the most effective ways to work on them is to just work on muscular imbalances. Just make sure that they're more balanced. So for that to happen, first of all, you gotta have mobility. You gotta get your spine checked, make sure it's straight, make sure it's healthy because it's connected to our nervous system, and also develop muscles around them, make sure they are balanced. So do more posterior chain work on your upper back, work on your lower back, work on your butt, work on your hamstrings. You need to make sure that your posterior chain is sufficiently worked, is balanced. And if you find that you are a very easily tempted person, I mean, if you're going to spend the next 30 days at home, you're going to walk to your kitchen, you're going to see junk food. Every time you look at them, it's a battle. Oh man, maybe you win junk food today. Maybe you win them tomorrow. Maybe you win them the whole week. But it's going to look at you again the following week. And at some point in time, you're going to eat it. Or somebody's going to eat it. So there's my advice to minimize away from junk food. Have them, of course, because life is short, enjoy them. But practice some restraint. Don't have them all the time. So that'll be another tips I'll give. Flee from temptation. Don't be near them. First one is work on your posterior chain. And third of all is, take this time to recover. I think people don't emphasize enough on recovery because Singaporeans, me included, are addicted to work. We want to work. We want to feel like we are productive all the time. We work. We forgot how to rest, and that can be quite stressful to our body. So I think this time can be a time for us to rest and recover. For me, I'm playing games and enjoying it so much, man. And start to think about how life will be after the circuit breaker. Things won't be the same anymore. And think about how you want to adjust, and think about what kind of life you want to live. Yeah,
so that's great advice. Definitely thinking about where they want to be afterwards, for sure. So for yourself, before we end, getting a little more personal, if you could speak to yourself, say 5 years ago, what kind of advice would you give to yourself?
I would say get your fundamentals right. So do what I'm passionate about and I am in, and do not skip steps. Do what's important. Do all the important stuff, lead them up. And third of all, you must really enjoy what you do. Enjoy what you're doing. Don't care about what people think about you. Do what you enjoy. If you got first class honors and you're in a bank with a high paying job, but it sucks the life out of you, get out of it. Do what you like. Do something that brings you joy. Recently, I've had some clarity about me and material stuff. I find that material stuff is a stigma, is a gauge of success. And I want people to know that I'm successful. And but I find that the process, going after them over and over again, is never ending. It's a void. There will always be people better. There will always be people higher. And there's just no end to it. I'm doing so much better than I was a few years ago. And I have to say that it is important. There is some security in it. But it can't be everything. Yes, and do what. And so having fun is important. Doing what you like is important. Yeah. So 5 years, if I have to tell myself, I'm 27 this year. If I'm speaking to myself when I was 22, I would say those stuff. do what I like, stick to the fundamentals, don't skip steps, and be hardworking. Yeah, that's all.
Well, thank you, Benny, so much for joining me today, and thank you for everyone who's been watching this live or will be watching again on the replay. If you have any questions, of course, you can always contact me on 84389550 or at help@vitalitychiropracticcentres.com. Benny will also be tagged into the post as well. And if anyone has any questions, please make sure you contact him. And Benny, if you can share with me the link as well for your online classes, I'll put that into the comments too. So if anyone wants to join, I really would highly recommend it. I know there's people that have been doing it so far, and it looks like it's been very intense, but it's giving them great results.
Intense, but you'll be good. You'll be able to manage it. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Dr. Shaan. Thanks for having me today. It was fun.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Cool. Well, stay safe and have a great day, everybody.